I just want to say I'm a little sick, so sorry for my cough. I'm Ashley, and today I wanted to talk to everyone about how lifting the ban on whale hunting, as stated by the International Whaling Commission, would negatively impact the world. The International Whaling Commission, IWC, was created in 1946 to set a limit on whale hunting limits, and since then it's been largely ignored by many countries. In early April this year, the IWC and the Obama administration have put forth a proposition to allow commercial whaling for the first time since 1986. If this did happen, it would lead to economic change, more animal cruelty, and issues regarding international relations. The economic change that would occur would first be decreased tourism revenues. I know, like, you guys go to Hawaii or something, everyone always wants to go see the whales, and, like, that's really cool and fun, and you don't want to see whales getting killed, obviously, because that's sad. So what happens is when people go touring around the world, they want to go see whales. And it actually makes a lot more money than whale hunting revenues. So in a study published in the Marine Policy Journal in 2009, whale watching had a revenue of $2.1 billion and employed over 13,000 people. Whale hunting, on the other hand, only provided a few thousand jobs and only makes $90 million a week. That's what Toyota makes in a week, so really it's not that much. In comparison, $90 million or $2.1 billion is better for the world. In addition to that, it would also lead to decreased fishing revenues. Yes, whales do eat fish, but they primarily eat plankton and large fish. And large fish eat small fish. And that's what most fish ships go for in the commercial fishing industry, is they go for the smaller fish. So by allowing more of the whales to live, they'll eat the larger fish, and more of the smaller fish will survive. Moving on to animal cruelty. Although it's kind of hard to debate the emotional side of whale hunting because there's not too many facts, I did do some research. And in a recent study produced by New Scientist Life, they found out that whales have something in their brain called a spindle cell, which every human has. It controls your love, your grief, emotions, so like when someone dies you can feel it, obviously. And whales actually have 3 times the amount of spindle cells in their brains. So they feel it much more than we do. And so when their loved ones die, they feel it too. And so that's one thing. And so the whale hunters don't really take that into consideration, and they just kill them for whale meat, which most people don't eat because it's rubbery and gross. And also they use it for products like soap or shampoo or perfume. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want whale in my hair, so that's a little gross. Also, there's other alternative methods to make those products, and it's cheaper and more efficient. So onto the process of how they actually kill the whales. It's kind of brutal. First, they will find a mother and a baby, and while the baby's nursing, they will separate them and kill them while they try to protect each other. Or they will shoot harpoons into them, which then explodes inside the whale but does not kill the whale. Or they will push them until they reach themselves onto the beach, suffocate, and then they'll run out and stab their main artery and spinal cord. And although that does sound like it'd be a fun job, I just think that is wrong. And according to the International Debate Education Association, whaling ships have admitted that 70% of whales do not die from the first hit, so they suffer the whole time. Not only that, but the larger issue is that many whales are facing extinction today. The blue whale, right whale, and humpback whale are all on the endangered list right now. And soon the minke whale, which is what Japan hunts the most. Because it's so hard to track whales and they're being killed illegally all the time, there's no exact number known. So because of that, we don't know how many whales there are left in the world, but they're all dying. And also, there's over 1,500 whales that die each year from illegal hunting. And my last point is international relations issues. Japan, Norway, and Iceland are the 3 countries that are really ignoring the ban on whale hunting. And because of that, a lot of countries don't want to trade with them because they're claiming it's all for scientific research, which puts a bad name to scientific research that's being done elsewhere in the world. So because of that, a lot of people aren't trading with them, so they're losing out on their soap, shampoo, and perfume products made by whales because no one wants to buy it. So in conclusion, lifting the ban on whale hunting would negatively impact the world because it would lead to economic change, more animal cruelty, and issues regarding international relations.
All right, the background information is okay, although it does sound like it needs to be specified what kind of lifting of the ban they're talking about. Is it a ban on all whaling? Is it on particular whales? Is it the Obama administration and the whale hunting countries and the International Whaling Commission? Are they addressing a particular type of whale hunting that they're going to allow? That's pretty important, since part of your argument later on has to do with some of the species being threatened. I have a hard time accepting the credibility that the United States is going to say, let's lift the ban on hunting endangered species. That just doesn't, it sounds counterintuitive. So it sounds much more likely that there are some species of whales that there's an argument about that there is an abundance of, that people might need to do the hunting on, and maybe we should lift the ban on that. So that needs to be a little bit more clearly laid out. I thought your proposition is fairly clear, although it is still phrased inside of a question. It's one of those passive questions. It's not really a question. It's more like you're asking the question for yourself, and we're supposed to know what the declarative statement is. I still think it should be a little bit clearer. There's a good structure for the speech, so we know mostly what the supporting points are, and you signpost them clearly as you're going through the speech. All the stuff about the whaling process, especially everything on point number 2, is mostly a value argument, so it doesn't really advance the main claim. It has to do with separate issues, and the description of what the process is for hunting the whales, as informative and interesting as it might be, I'm not sure that it advances your claim either. There's a little bit of confusion about some of the numbers that you had on the amount of money made by the whaling industry versus the amount of money made by the whale watching industry, and I think that needs to be clarified, because it sounded like one was talking about a $2 billion industry each year and the other was $93 million a week, but maybe I just got the numbers wrong, or maybe you said them incorrectly, and that's why I think it needs to be clarified. You did an okay job citing your sources for the most part, and I thought you did a good job talking to the audience. Like I said, I think sometimes the generalizations are a little difficult. For instance, on that last point, it doesn't make any sense what you're talking about. If there is no economic incentive for the whaling because nobody wants those products, then why would lifting the ban make a difference, since nobody's going to buy those products anyway? People wouldn't be hunting the whales. That's kind of the way you've set it up, and I'm not sure that's the inference that you meant to take from that, but I think that's the inference that you leave us with at the end of your presentation. All right, thank you.